Hey, welcome to Miss D6 Women's Sports.
Hey, welcome to Miss D6 Women's Sports. Please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'm at 196, going for 300. Trying to get 200 at my channel so far. I got 196. Today was a good day for the Players Era basketball tournament in Vegas. You had the first game, UCLA versus um, Texas. Texas really controlled the game throughout. UCLA made a run. In the second game, you got South Carolina versus Duke. Uh, South Carolina started off slow, but of course they laid the hammer down and they took advantage of the fact that nobody could stop Okote for them, Medina Okote. But I want to talk about something else first before I get to that. The Players Era. So as we know, Chicago Sky hired Latricia Trammel, the former coach, and Roseanne Barr Jr. lookalike, for the assistant coach for the Chicago Sky. She coached the Dallas Wings a year ago, or almost a year and a half ago. They brought her in, and so hold on one second. So Latricia Trammel is your new assistant coach, and Courtney Paris is out as the assistant coach of the Sky. Courtney was brought in to help Angel with her post moves. At first, it sounded pretty good, but Courtney is kind of shy, kind of quiet. She wasn't very talkative. She's supposed to have helped Angel and Miller with their post moves. She was a pretty dang on good post player in college, Oklahoma, and she was pretty decent in WNBA before a lot of injuries got to her. So they hired Latricia Trammel as the coach. Now, the Chicago Sky got the 5th pick of the draft, and they went down from the 5th pick. They traded their 2nd pick to the Washington Mystics to get Ariel Atkins. Now, my theory, I don't know who hired Patricia Trammel. Was it Coach Whispers, Tyler Marsh, or Jeff P? And if it was Jeff P, my theory is if they start off pretty slow next year, that Patricia Trammel might be the head coach. Now, there's a crazy rumor running around that they brought in Patricia Trammel to kind of ease Tyler out the door and bring in her players, particularly Arike Agumawale. I don't think I like Arike. I don't like her with pairing her with Angel or Camilla. But it could be a possibility. But I kind of got that feeling. I said, you got a coach that was a coach before the WNBA. Of course, you got Tanisha Wright and some other coaches on the sideline, Rima. But it was a kind of weird hire. Like, I know you want to replace Courtney Paris, but so is that a Jeff pick or is that a Tyler pick? And knowing Tyler and his personality, seems like it's a Jeff pick. So Tyler seems like he's gonna be on the hot seat. She's gonna be on his butt for the job. So we don't see about that. And will they trade that 5th pick? I still think Angel might not be there. I think they don't want a situation where it's like I keep saying a Sylvia Fowles situation where she might she'll play, but if they keep losing and she feel like she did being disrespected, will she set out again and say, you know what, I'm through with this. I got an injury, get me out of here. So that's to look forward to. So some good news for Angel. Speaking of Angel, she was part of the USA team, and she's playing with Kayla Clark and some younger players. They're trying to get some younger players in there. So, that's good for Angel. But we gonna keep our eye on the Sky situation. So I want to see what they do with that. So, with that being said, today we had the Players Era tournament in Vegas, and you had some top teams. Let me share my screen. And you had a number 3 UCLA going against a number 4 Texas. And you got Lauren Betts, Kiki, and I was watching the game, and I was very shocked at how average UCLA looked. It's like they kind of overrate them. And Texas, even though they try to make a run, Texas is really in control of that game. Texas was really in control of the game. There was no doubt. Texas inside out. Madison Booker, they couldn't stop her. And Lauren Betts didn't play very well. She got hurt in like the second quarter. Hold on one second. It seemed like Texas could get anything they want. And UCLA, they could not hit their threes. They known for the giving it to the post player and then kicking out for the 3. They had a hard time giving it to Betts. That was one of the reasons why she didn't have a great game. They seemed very flustered. So hold on. Let me share my screen. Oh, let me stop. Let me share it again. All right, hold on. Let me share my screen. Hold on. All right. So the score is not indicative of how the game was. Texas really dominated the game, and the guard play was even though Kiki had 17 points, she looked kind of most of her points came off the free throws. She was 4 for 12. Rory Harmon had 26 points, so she was 9 of 15, a little bit better from the field. Look, even on field goals, it's kind of weird. But UCLA is known for their threes. They shot 31%. They had 20 turnovers. Like I said, they could not get the ball to Betts. It looked real bad. They beat them on rebounds, UCLA, 32-30. So I'm gonna go to the box score for UCLA. Hold on one second. I was very surprised how many turnovers they had. Kiki is a senior, and you think the senior leadership would kind of, but she looked like a freshman out there. So this game was it looked close, but it really wasn't as close as it was. They really had control of this game, the whole game. I think after a while, I think Texas got a little complacent. So hold on. All right. I think, let me see. UCLA got back in the game. They scored 22-17 in the third quarter and 18-14. They won the fourth quarter, but they really got crushed in the first two quarters, and the turnovers really hurt them. And I really wasn't impressed by Betts. I don't think she's right now a second pick. She might be dropping down to the fifth pick to me. Now hold on. So she played 37 minutes. Of course, she hurt her elbow. She had 8 points. She was 4 for 8 for the field. The only really person that was doing anything consistently, she was a little bit better, was Gianna Nipkins. She was 7 for 11. But everybody else is kind of average. So for Texas, they had a pretty good balance. Of course, Madison Booker, she was 6 for 17. She played okay. But I was very impressed, like I said, with Rory Harmon. She played 40 minutes. She was 9 to 15 for 26 points. They got some good production off the bench. But Carlton, Jordan Lee played pretty decent. So they had a little bit of balance. But I think the turnovers and the guard play really showed. And they played Betts pretty good. They frustrated her even when she got the ball. She missed a lot of bunnies in the lane. And I was not impressed with Lauren Betts. These are the games that you want to prove that you are the top pick. And she looked kind of average out there. And she's not the number one pick to me. So let me share my screen. All right. Let's go to the Duke, South Carolina Gamecocks game. Now, I was very surprised in a way. In the first two quarters, South Carolina kind of struggled. I think they was kind of lackadaisical. They knew, you know what, we could smack around the Duke Blue Devils anytime we wanted to. So Duke wound up winning the first quarter, 15-14. Then the second quarter, they started to pour it on a little bit. When they was down, I think the highest was like 5. They started pouring on at the half. They had like a 13-point lead. So they won the second quarter, 26-12. That's when they started pouring on. Duke won the third. They kind of come back a little bit, but there's no doubt who was going to win the game. And then South Carolina kind of poured away again, the fourth, scoring 22-15. And Joyce Edwards continues to shine. She was at 32 minutes, but she had 22 points. She was 9 to 18. 4 or 5 for free throws. She had 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 3 steals. 6 assists, only 1 turnover. But the story of the game was baby Olajuwon, Medina Okote. They could not stop her inside. She got anything she wanted to. She had 23 points. She probably could have had more. She was 11 to 18, 1 or 2 for free throw, 13 rebounds. She had a double-double, 2 assists, 4 steals, and 2 blocks. So she was doing her thing. Look at this. Very balanced scoring. Tanaya Laxton had 12. She was 6 to 13. Raven had 10 points, 3 or 8. So it's pretty balanced. Bench, Maddie gave you 5. Makir gave you 4. So yeah. Now for Duke, Toby's stats look good, but she was it's kind of like a garbage time. The game was kind of not winnable for them. She had 16 points. She was 6 of 12 And she had 16 points, 5 assists, 1 block, 5 rebounds. Ashlyn Jackson had 11, and Tiana Mayer had 11. Riley Nelson had 14 off the bench. Ariana Robertson had 8. And you know what? The Devils are 3-4. They've been looking very average. The defense is okay, but a lot of these games they are getting blown out the water, and they 3-4. And Kara Lawson lost some players from last year. She had some transfers. She didn't get any big players to go alongside Toby, and so the size of South Carolina really bothered them. They look kind of average, and at this point, is the Blue Devils even gonna make the tournament? Because even ACC is a little bit weak. Even in the weak ACC, this team, the Duke Blue Devils at NC State, is not looking pretty good. So Duke got a lot of work to do. That's the way they playing. I don't think they're gonna be in the tournament. So tomorrow we're gonna have another battle between South Carolina and Texas. And of course, they play in a Southeast Conference together, and so they'll see each other. Hey, she wins. How you doing? So we're gonna see tomorrow, 8 o'clock, for the Players Era championship game, and then the next game, the consolation game between UCLA and Duke. And Duke could possibly walk out of Vegas 3-5. So, it's gonna be rough for Duke. Their morale is kind of down. And so, let me share my screen. So, Project B is continuing to get the younger players now. Camilla committed this week to Project B. I keep saying Plan B. And it's putting a lot of pressure on WNBA. So we going to see what the WNBA going to do. You got Kelsey Mitchell. So you have players playing in Unrivaled and Plan B. I mean Project B. I keep saying Plan B. But so let me see. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. So let me share this screen here. The latest on the negotiations for the WNBA. Now they're kind of being kind of talkative now that they got some get right. All right. All right, it says Thanksgiving week is typically a time for rest and reflection. But in Midtown New York, in these coming days, the WNBA and the WNBA Players Association will be hard at work at the bargaining table as they continue to work towards a new collective bargaining agreement. The current CBA is set to expire Sunday. Woo. So we'll see. It's coming down to the wire. I hope it don't go down to a strike or a lockout. So after both sides agreed to a 30-day extension, I wonder if they're gonna get another extension. How many extensions can they get? The negotiations can continue in December, and a deadline can be extended again. But time is ticking at the end of the calendar year approaches, with a 2-team expansion draft and a packed free agency period still needing to take place this offseason. So, like I said, you got Project B, and he's talking about the salaries. The minimum salary is $66,000. I think Caitlin Clark and Angel was making like 85,000, or a piece or something like that. Now, Project B, off the rip, is often offering $2 million, and that's the minimum. So they better get their stuff together, and I want to see if they have what they have up their sleeve. Now it says the latest on where the negotiation stands, and what happens if there isn't a deal reached by Sunday. The league and the union has spit updated proposals back and forth since last week, so they've been working on it. That's a good sign. Even with the Thanksgiving holiday approaching, they are willing to meet throughout the week and into the weekend ahead of Sunday's deadline. The league and the WNBA could agree to another expansion at the deadline. Even if that doesn't happen, a work stoppage would not automatically follow, which is a good thing. Now, as the CBA deadline continues to be pushed back, so does the expansion draft for Toronto Temple and the Portland Fire. Yeah, they really can't do anything right now. They really can't do anything right now. So I'm very concerned. Hopefully they can. Hey, AL 504, how you doing? So I do not want to see a lockout, and I hope they can negotiate something throughout the weekend. They have the holiday. Maybe they'll stop tomorrow, and then they kind of resume Friday. But they are in New York doing a proposal. Project B is grabbing not only the young players but stars of the league. And we're gonna see who else pop up for the Project B, putting pressure on the WNBA. But I forgot something. I wanted to go to. Hold on. Now I want to go back to this top 25 because how is that going to shake up with Texas beating UCLA? And UCLA was number 3 and Texas number 4. So I think they're going to flip-flop. Now they can go up to the number 2 if they beat South Carolina. So it's going to be a shake-up, not only for this weekend, for tomorrow, which is Thursday, but even the weekend games. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, I think they are gonna be tired to play in the W, but I think that money is hard for them to pass up. They're like, you know what, I gotta get this bag, and they're offering pretty good. Not only they're offering a contract, they're offering equity in the league. So they said it could balloon up to $5 million. So that bag is pretty hard to pass up. And yes, they'll be tired, but yeah, Rival was good, but Project B is offering that money. Okay. So I'm really interested to see. You have this tournament for players error. Let me see where Duke was at, because even Duke was not in the top 25. I think they played their way out the top 25. I'm not sure. They might still give him a mention because of Kara Lawson. I don't see him in there. But it's definitely could be a shakeup because now where do you put UCLA, who at the time to tonight was number 3. It looked real bad. The Stars didn't play well. Betts didn't play well. Rice played okay. They was number 3, and Texas number 4. So Texas right now will probably move up. Of course, it's not gonna move up right away. I think the standings. I mean the poll don't come to like Sunday. South Carolina number 2. They could even go to number 2 if they beat South Carolina, Texas. Michigan looked real good, even though they lost to UConn. They stay at number 6. LSU number 5. Maryland looked pretty good. TCU is looking pretty good. Oklahoma looking better than they did when they played earlier. Iowa is surprising me. Hannah Stokey is playing pretty good. She's leading the way. Of course, you have Iowa State. Audie Crooks is playing her butt off, and she could be a player of the year. So, yeah, but about time tomorrow or even Saturday happen, it could be a lot of shakeup in the polls here. A lot of shakeup. They might opt out of the WNBA, and I want to see how the draft picks. If they don't come to agreement, can they play? I know. Try to play in. You said October to April. Can they? Is another league coming up where they could play while waiting on the WNBA if they don't opt out the WNBA? So you're right. It can be. If players might opt out of it because the WNBA still do not want them. They're not raising their salaries, and they're not giving the revenue share. They're not. They kind of being stubborn on both ends, and the other leagues they see that. Unrivaled see that, and Project B see that. Where you know what, not only are we going to pay you, but you're going to have equity in the leagues. So whatever you make off the merchandise, you're going to make that too. So, of course, in the WNBA, you might not get that, but they definitely have to have better. I think they should do them better as far as making sure that they at least get the revenue share. They got to be, unrivaled. They can play on unrivaled, right? And then Upshot coming on, and that's gonna be like the I don't know what the months they play in, but Upshot is like this. They play in the South mostly. So that's another league they can think about. They might not have to go overseas right now. They're going to have better options than they had. So, yeah, WNBA better get their stuff together. They better get their stuff together. So, hold on. Yeah, but that's true. That's true. L504. The problem with yes, they're making that money. But everybody can't play in Project B and Unrivaled. So what happens to the players just outside the All-Star range? So they need some a league to go to. So that's why you still keep fighting. Because you're not just fighting for yourself. It's easy for Caitlin Clarks and the Asia Wilsons and Angels to do that. Yeah. They surpass Unrivaled. The only problem with that is you still playing overseas. That's the only problem. That's the only thing. It's still kind of a round ball tournament type play, where you traveling a lot. And so Unrivaled, I still think Unrivaled has value. I still think that the W has value. You still have to negotiate, even though because everybody they can't, you know, everybody's not a star. What happened to players like let's take for instance the Chicago Sky, Rebecca Allens and the Bam Bams, and then uh for every team has that non-star player. Yeah, yeah, I actually like that. 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. So they're gonna be just playing basketball, you know, non-stop and then stop. I like that. Only thing, like I said, only thing I don't like is still overseas. I want them to be at home. I want them to come home, and but yeah, that's just my wish. Yeah, but the whole point of Unrivaled is to make sure they come home. Certain things, they say, I enjoy playing overseas, but I need to be around my family. That was the whole point of Rival. Give them shares of the money, give them share of the merchandise, and they have a family they could come watch them play. So hold on, let me see. Wow, my Pistons lost. That's not good. Can't win them all. So I wonder, is the USA Basketball rethinking hiring Kara Lawson? You know, Hopefully Kara Lawson will get some offensive players. She's a great defensive coach. She was a great defensive player as a player in Tennessee. Um, she did not get retain some players that left her, and she might not keep Toby the way she playing. So hold on. Now people try to make a big deal out of Angel and Caitlin playing on the same team. It's not a big deal. Angel could play with anybody. So a lot of these players are now, yeah, they still at it. At the 2023, we getting ready to be 2026. They still talking about Angel and Caitlin, and they just like really, they don't have no beef with each other. It is long. It is long. I guess that's the price you can pay when they trying to offer you $2 million. Hold on. So you got Caitlin Page to make their senior camp debuts. So you got Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Juju Watkins will be among the 10 players making their USA Senior National Team camp debuts next month. They got a camp from December 12th to 14th. There are 18 participants. And of course, you got the veterans in there from the Olympic team. You got Point Guard, Chelsea Gray, Brittany Griner, Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, Kalea Copper, and Derek Hamby. Now, Brianna Jones was a member of the World Cup in 2022. She's going to be there. Cameron Brink, Lauren Betts, Sonia Citron. I don't know about Kiki. She might go for the Nigerian team. Rakia Jackson and Veronica Burton. That's a pretty good team. Asia might still be there, but she probably taking a break. They probably let her get a break, and she needs a break. you know, she's one of the hardest working players in the league, and she need a break. So that's That's gonna be a good team. I like the young core. I like the mixture of the young core and the older players. It might be. He might have some bots. You're right. You're right. Try to cause a uproar, a war. So that's crazy. So I definitely can't wait for the games tomorrow. Um, so South Carolina and Texas could probably meet up for this. Is probably the first time. Oh, it's next year. Oh, okay. Now what you talking about the? Oh, in Berlin. Wow, they started off in Berlin. Okay. So what you think about the Sky hiring Latricia Trammel? I think I said earlier. I think that it's a kind of a sneaky way to push Tyler Marsh out. That's my opinion. I might be wrong. And then somebody else said, not only I'm gonna push Tyler out after she come on as the coach, she's gonna bring Enrique in, and I don't think that's a good idea. Let me see. I'm gonna type it in. Why I don't say yet? It says November of next year, so it got a whole year before it start. But don't say exactly. And a lot of people have a problem with the investors, the Saudi investors. Of course, you put Elena Beard as one of the faces, as far as older WNBA players. It don't say, but it did say that they start next year. But I don't see if it's starting in Berlin or not. Let me see. I don't know. Oh, let me stop. All right. Well, let me share this, but I do want to get to this as well. I want to get to something. Now, speaking of draft picks, I was saying that maybe the Sky would trade a draft pick. The Mystics would they keep their draft pick? I was seeing a post by Big Foe Flau'jae Johnson said that she was saying that basically I would look good in a Mystic uniform. So that combination's not bad. You got Kiki, you have Sonia Citron and Flau'jae. That's not and you might still have Shakira Austin. That's a good, nice young core. I like that. So hold on. All right. So wow, it's the second year in a row they did have the number 4 pick. So you had Sonia Citron at 3, Kiki at 4, and Georgia at 6. Now I don't know what they're gonna do with Georgia. She coming out with she coming off an ACL sprain, and she is kind of small. And I wonder what role that Big Folk could play in the WNBA. She has a pretty nice size, what 5'10", 5'11", maybe 6 feet. Where they kind of play her at a point and kind of move Georgia Amore away. You know, as far as would they play her or would they just give I don't know. So they said they want to get some value for the pick, so they might trade the pick. I don't think they should trade that pick. I like the position they in. Like I said, they could possibly get Flau'jae Johnson. They might not get AZ or Olivia Miles. So they were saying that as of now, teams have a cap of 12 players. Instead of you put in Citron, Arifin, Amore, and even Olsen, who is still technically under a contract as a rookie skill player, plus the 3 first-round picks, they already have 7 players. The Mystics then also have the 19th, 30th, and 34th pick in the later rounds of the 26th draft. And camp is already at 10 players, and therefore free agency. And that's before free agency. Wow, so they got a whole bunch of picks. They got a lot of flexibility. They could call many teams for that. Wow. So I don't know. I think they should keep that pick and possibly try to trade some of the later picks. But I think you can't pass up on a Flau'jae if you get her. So the mock draft, who would Dallas Wings take at number 1 pick? I'm kind of torn. I like Bud, but I also like Olivia Miles. We'll see. I think it depends on how the tournament shake up for me and see how they play in the tournament, and that's how I would decide. Even though they both pretty good players. But they said here, Yahoo Sports said Alba Pham. Now I haven't seen her. She's overseas player for Valencia, Spain. She's 6'4". Last year, the big player they had overseas was Dominique Malanga, and they do need front court help. But at the same time, you know what you get with AZ, and you know what we get with Olivia Miles. So the foreign frontcourt revolution is upon us. After Dominique Malanga in 2025, here comes Pham 19. See, they look. I don't want Dominique right now. Dominique Malanga is a prospect. She's a good player who needs some time. She's 19, just like our Pham. So we don't know what we're getting, and how many years do you want to have a project player? I don't think players like Paige want to wait long for the team to develop instead of playing with players she know they can play. Pham might be like another Dominique Malanga where you have to wait a few years to see to get the rewards of it. So I don't think that's a good idea. And plus, I think the Wings still they got some just like the Mystics got draft picks, so they can go out and try to get Angel. So they said our fan for the Wings, Minnesota, Olivia Miles. And I say if they can't get if Dallas pick Miles, get AZ Fudd. That's just my pick. Seattle Storm AZ Fudd. That might be a good choice. With the shakeup with the coaching of Seattle, there might be some older players walking away. It could easily be AZ Fudd's team. As the centerpiece besides Dominique. Mystic, Lauren Betts. I don't like that for them. They need like a more athletic wing. And even though Lauren Betts is 6'7", I think she drops a little bit. And maybe to the sky. They might be losing Angel. And yeah, I don't know. But they got Flau'jae Johnson instead of going to the Mystics, where I think she would be good. They got to go into the sky. She might. Portland, Yarden Garcon, the 6'3" wing. She's going number 7. Toronto, Ayana Martin from Spain, another foreign pickup from Spain. She's 5'9". Don't know a lot about her. Tanaya Latson with the Golden State back race. I like that. I like that because it fits her style. They like to run a gun. They not afraid to pull the trigger on the threes. They're very up tempo. They said on the offensive side of the ball was more challenging than the defense end for Golden State in its inaugural season. So why not bring in a leading scorer in college? Latson is one of the most relentless down here attackers of the game. For Golden State, which led the WNBA in three-point attempts, Latson could supercharge at driving kick opportunities. Latson, I don't want to compare her to anybody, but she kind of plays. She got the same body type as Kelsey Mitchell, and if she turned out to be Kelsey Mitchell, that's a good pickup for the Golden State Valkyries. Attacking the basket, she attacked the basket, and she got that mid-range game. Her threes, her consistent three-point shooting, something she will work on. So that's a good pick. I like that. I like what Yahoo Sports saying about Latson going to the Golden State Valkyries. I like that pick a lot. So Mystics, number 9, Khalees Ledger Walker, a 5'10" guard out of UCLA. If that's the case, no disrespect, she's okay. I will put Raven right there. I think Raven better than her. Indiana Fever, Gabriela Jaquez, a 6 feet wing for UCLA. She was kind of quiet today. They got her number 10 at going to the Fever. Talasia Cooper, a 6 feet guard to the Mystic from the New York Liberty. Now, a lot of these players, like they could take Walker out and put Raven and bring in Talasia Cooper at number 10 or Raven at number 10. Because they definitely, those two is better than the players they got ahead of Raven. Besides, then you got Martin. What people don't know, Raven, I would take Raven higher than what a lot of people are trying to put her in the second round. I like her value better. I'm not saying that because I'm biased. I'm saying that that's how I feel. So that's some of the picks that they said Yahoo Sports. So that's interesting. And Talasia Cooper, I forgot she was a senior. I think she's gonna have a good year this year, and I think she could play her way to the top 10. So some of the players they got, I'm like, Like Jacquez has not played good today. She been kind of okay for UCLA. That's why they brought in Neepkins, Gianna Neepkins, who's been playing pretty good for them. She didn't shoot as very well today that she did the last time. So, you know, we're gonna see tomorrow for the players' era. This is the championship for the tournament, of the 5-team tournament, and before long after this game, and then of course the rest of the games this weekend is going to determine the top 5 teams. And so we're gonna see who's going to win between the SEC powerhouses, South Carolina and Texas. And so I'd like to thank everybody for coming up in the comment section. AL504, she wins. Anybody that's watching it but didn't type. I'm currently at 196. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button for me. And I thank you for coming through. And this is Miss D for 6 Women Sports. I'm out.